Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level best of 3 from the most recent DreamHack Masters ESL Summer StarCraft 2 2023 edition. Player names already on the screen as we have hero versus Elazer here in the top left. So you saw hero send out his first worker immediately across the map. And there is a reason for this, and we're actually going to see the reason here. Look at this. This is a 15 hatch versus an instant scout. And look at that timing. Ooh, actually, Elazer sent his drone too late. Oh, what a huge mistake there out of Elazer. Oh, wow. Well, so basically the reason why hero sent out his first probe rather than waiting for his pylon to start or just a little bit before his pylon is because a lot of Zerg players have started playing what we call a 15 hatch. They'll go for an extractor trick, they wait with their overlord and build a hatch before their first overlord. Players like herO's have been almost exclusively playing this opener, and now apparently Elazer is also kind of fond of it, but he gets blocked. Not because the probe of hero was going to be on time, but because Elazer's drone was actually too late in the natural. He had the resources that were necessary for the hatch. He just wasn't in position yet with his drone, and that's very, very sour here as a start, because this cost him quite a bit of money to execute. And if you then don't manage to get it down on your own natural base, yeah, you're most definitely going to be in some serious trouble. Now, Cybernetics Core here is being thrown down by hero as a follow-up. We have a Nexus into core, and, well, Elazer is just, yeah, it's just in some trouble. It is what it is. A serious damage here on this drone, by the way. I wonder if this will come into play a little bit later on when that first adept will make its way across the map. Of course, there is HP regeneration on these drones, which should help out, but it's still always quite scary. Yeah, 14 HP. Yeah, it should be fine. Oh, hero's coming back in once more. One more hit. 2 more hits. Back down to 6 HP, but we're so far away from this adept actually making its way across the map that I'm not so worried for Elazer. Stargate is on the way here as well in the main base. So it's going to most likely rally its first oracle towards that third location. What is this bad boy doing? Not a whole lot right now. Not a whole lot. Just trying to figure out how many links there really are, seeing if there's a third base or not. And all of these things do seem true. Links stay at home and the third base goes down. Now, first adept will make its way across the map. Let's take a look at a drone. Yeah, it managed to get most of its HP back, so fairly useless moment there with that probe, trying to harass it down as far as possible. Still going to be 2 shots for this adept. Adept is going to end up finishing up here, as these links will need to pull away, as long as he doesn't want to lose a link. One more shade out. I like the way that our good friend hero played this. Oh, one drone will end up falling and another link goes down as well. That's a good trade here. That is 75 minerals that Elazer is not going to be seeing back. Double adept shade. Can it go in? Yeah, it can. There's no extra drones here at all for Elazer. What a blunder. He had the full scouting information with that overlord and decided not to do anything about it. These adepts are... There's still no extra links on the way. You can't be serious, right? 3 links against 2 adepts. That is not a good trade. These adepts are going to finish. Oracle's going to come in. And Elazer's going to lose 7, 8, 9 workers here, I think. It's just going to get 5 for now. It's not the greatest thing, but still, it's pretty big in the early games. We see 11 more workers on the way, instantly starting, as the Nexus has started as well here for hero behind all this. This is just so weird. I just don't quite understand why Elazer would only build 3 links after scouting that second adept moving across the map. Like, you need to build some extra links, and it's worth it, 100%. 100% it's worth it. Now, Twilight Council going down 4 minutes and 25 seconds into the game. Forge gets added on immediately as well. So we'll have to wait and see how these 2 structures are going to be used. Hero in the past has been very keen on kind of this aggressive low gas style. 5, 6, 7 gateways, sometimes off of 3 bases, sometimes adding a faster 4th as well, as this double Oracle squad is still looking for some damage. Not quite getting it though, at least not in the main. Not yet. 12 more drones on the way here for Elazer, who really is cutting as many links as he can, as a stasis ward will be thrown down here in this main. And a second stasis coming in. This is denying quite a bit of mining time. And I think there's one more stasis available here. Could go for it, but decides to just fly out for now. 3 more gateways coming in. Another chrono boost on this Nexus is going to make sure that probes are going to be around for a very long time to come. Evo chamber starts, but it's fairly late. +1 is not going to be in time for that first Blink Stalker attack that hero definitely is eyeing at the moment. There's 3 gateways done. There's 2 more on the way. There's 4 gateways done. Excuse me. There's 2 more on the way. Means we're going up to 6 gateways. Really kind of the golden standard of PvZ openers when it comes to the high-level Protoss players. Both Hero and MaxSpecs freaking love this opener. This particular opener, they're a huge fan of. So I'm not entirely surprised to see this here coming out of Hero. I do believe he's adding 1 more now, going up to 7. And that is smelling a bit more like an all-in at that point. You know, the 7th gate is all-in territory for sure. Because you can't really easily afford a 4th base after you start warping in out of 7 gateways. At least I'd be surprised if you can do that. Elazer here is looking for a 4th base and is looking for gases. Doesn't find either. And should know that something odd is happening right now. Does not have a... No, it does have a Roach Warren actually. Okay, creep spread is fairly mediocre. I'll have to mention that immediately. Blink finishes up. He blinks forward. 3 oracles there to help him out as well. Pylon is going to be forced to cancel. +1 about to finish up. These are 2 bases that are being built here for Elazer, so he can technically give one up. Ling run by towards the 3rd, forces a warp in at home. Natural is somewhat open. +1 not quite done yet for Elazer, and that means that this defense might be a little bit harder than perhaps it should be. Here comes the flank. Oracles are in position to perhaps deal with this. Don't forget, these links do not have +1. With +1, these stalkers would get absolutely blasted. What in the world is Hero doing? Just let your oracle shoot, my friend. Waiting for a very long time there, just kind of flying around like a clown. It's not what you want. It's definitely not what you want. Still going to win this fight though, because like I said, these links are so darn weak right now. Elazer, for whatever reason, is floating about 1,000 gas 7 minutes into the game, as well as 800 minerals. We see Hero with 1,200 minerals in the bank. But of course, he's waiting for his next warp-in cycle. There we go. 6 stalkers do get warped in, I think, somewhere at home. More oracles are on the way as well. There's still no fourth base for Hero, which makes this way more all-in than I think it really has to be. Elazer trying to fight. Does not get the fight that he wants, though. Gets pushed back completely. There's not enough links right now. There's not enough of anything. Fighting before +1 finish with his massive link count does seem to have been a mistake. Floating 1,200 gas, that is an insane amount of resources to be floating this early on in the game. I don't quite understand it. GG gets called. Elazer forced to tap out his Hero. Kind of easily picks up game number 1 here on Dragon Skills. Game 2 will be played on Neo Humanity, as Elazer manages to get his hatchery down in the correct location this time around. What a frustrating start that last one was for the Polish Orc. Still felt like he was in a playable position though. And one fight with the links is just kind of misunderstanding how that would go, I guess. There were 3 oracles with that, right? And yes, he killed a bunch of stalkers, but +1 is so freaking close to finishing. Really, the only thing you need to do against stalker all-ins without a prism is you need to clean the reinforcements. You either go to the pylon that is being built, or you just counterattack with a lot of links, forcing the stalkers to commit. And Elazer did have a 4th and a 5th, which means he can technically give up his 5th base to kill his opponent's 3rd, if he wants to. That forces defensive warp-ins out of Hero, which makes his push less strong. And links, because of their high speed, can just kind of bounce in between Hero's 3rd and between Hero's main army. Forcing units to be warped in at home, or perhaps killing a 3rd base. You know, and both of these things are completely fine. Which is why we usually don't see this build happening all that much. We don't see it be very successful anymore without a prism, that is. Sometimes with a prism we do see some success because the warp-ins are so darn quick. But Hero did manage to make it work, of course, after his fabulous early game. He killed freaking, what was it, like 8-9 workers in the first well, 4 minutes. Then managed to throw down some stasis wards, which, although they did not connect with a lot of drones, did force a big portion of the drones to move away from the mineral line, which is always going to be big. This is going to finish, isn't it? He always finishes his first shade. He just doesn't give a crap. And this time it was really good because there was 0 links out. Yeah, Elazer's going to lose 2 drones to 1 adept. This is the nightmare scenario, my friends. This really is the nightmare scenario. If you ask Zerg players, well, what was the worst thing that could happen? It's like losing 2 drones and not killing the adept. Like, that is legitimately the worst thing that could happen here. And it freaking happened, didn't it? Second adept is showing up as well. Wait, is there no link speed yet? He's just not getting link speed. 2 links do get in the main base. Oracle's gonna take care of that. Did they kill anything? No, they didn't. Link speed hasn't even started yet. This is a single drone. What is this build order? Holy crap. This is the greediest thing I've seen in my entire life. 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. Speed is supposed to be done 30 seconds ago. But Elazer says, no, actually, I think I can get away with this. And, well, we'll see about that. Adept's not quite going to finish up. There are a lot of links in position, 8 to be exact. They're continuing to try to do something. I mean, they're not going to be able to finish their shade. That's for sure, but how are you going to defend multiple bases here? Well, you can't. Oracles are going to find 2 workers. Not quite going to go for it. Link's completely out of position. They're chasing the Oracles. You're supposed to go for these Adepts. Here come the Oracles joining in as well in the fun. There's absolutely nothing in the main. The Queens were completely out of position. If hero had realized that, he could have dealt some serious damage. Now, he's going to get a couple more worker kills here with these 2 Adepts. So that's going to be a total of 7 worker kills within the first 5 minutes. This is just as bad as last game. And once again, hero following this up with +1 with blink. 11 drones for Elazer, slightly faster layer than last time because he's skipping out on his Evo chamber. Does not want to go for that very fast +1 melee. Now, a reason for that might be because he didn't feel so comfortable in the defense last game and because he just hasn't had massive trouble spending his money. If your mechanics don't feel entirely on point, perhaps the better thing to do is to just get more expensive units, which means it's easier for you to spend your cash, right? With roaches, it's generally easier to spend it than it is with pure ling, because, well, links are kind of larva intense in a way. 50 minerals for 1 larva. Well, with roaches, it's 75-25 for 1 larva. So, yeah, if you're struggling, you feel that you're struggling, I think this is a really smart call. It's like, hey, I'm not doing a great job today spending my money. I'm not sure if I can fix it in the next game. Let me see if I can throw down a roach warren. That could be something to think about. I'm not saying necessarily that's the reason why Elazer went for it. It's possible that he believes that roaches are just better here, just opening up with roaches against hero's particular style. But I don't actually think that's quite true. I think against heavy blink stalker pressure, often the optimal play is considered to be +1 melee. So Elazer kind of taking a cheat route here, saying, hey, I want it to be a bit easier for myself. 70 workers are out already. We have that fort base. Now, don't forget that this map is really well known as well for kind of roach into swarm host play because of that Rich Vespine geyser that we see here on that fort base. Helps out so much. Just getting that quick gas saturation on relatively low draw counts. +1. Could also just be +1 roach into Ravager all in, honestly. So we have hero once again moving out. He already has 6 gateways with 3 more on the way. It goes up to 9 then, doesn't it? This is a build that I've never seen before in my life. Charge is the follow-up here. It's going to be perhaps wanting to use this slow zone to fight against links, except this time it isn't links. Against links, this would be fantastic. Against roaches, using the slow zone is actually, well, it's not really possible. Single roach is going to get sacrificed here as Elazer continues moving forward. He's just up 40 supply. How's that possible? 7 workers killed in the early game. I guess he did play fairly greedy, so losing a couple of workers isn't the end of the world. Here comes the collapse of the rocks. The single stasis is going to hit in a big way. Elazer just sacrificing basically every single unit into that blink forward out of hero, though. Is that the call that we want? This makes these stalkers so darn vulnerable. There are a lot of... Oh my god, another stasis hit? Right in his face. No target fire there whatsoever out of Elazer. Seemingly was in an unlosable position, but now makes it a bit harder for himself. First stasis does expire as Stalkers are blinking away. We'll get stuck still here in this slow zone in between the rocks. Pylon is going to fall. I do believe that Elazer is going to hold, but holy crap, he made it hard for himself. Holy crap, was this way more difficult than it ever should have been in a million freaking years. Now, double Oracle still floating around. As, well, it's not over, but the situation is really freaking bad for hero. Let's just be truthful for once here. Like, this is not how you want things to go if you're a Protoss player. Roach is now moving forward. We'll be going towards that third base. As this is feeling kind of base tradey. As well, actually not base tradey, just hero might start losing bases, and while Elazer stays alive, this army does need to be careful. Does not have everything here. There's no anti-air either. Perhaps a Hydra then is a possibility here. Hydra, Ravager, Ling, Bane, I think is a fairly decent composition against what he's playing against. Big Blink forward coming in. This Lynx managed to surround the Stalkers. And this bottom Roach army is just waiting for the blink. Look at that. Saying, hey, if you want to blink out, if you want to blink away, you'll blink right into my Roaches. And Elazer is doing a fantastic job here. The movement here has been phenomenal out of the Polish Zerg player. And hero honestly kind of disappointing me with this build, with its execution. And yeah, it's not in a good spot right now. Elazer with a lot of cash in the bank, ready to morph in some Ravagers perhaps, or anything else. Does not have the larva available to spend it. If a Spire was done right now, 10 Mutas could be constructed. That would be cool. Or if a Baneling Nest was here, I guess you could morph a bunch of Banes. I mean, something needs to be done with that money. Like, it's a little bit ridiculous that there's this much in the bank. And I think a Baneling Nest is a very good solution to that problem. Does not quite require larva. Ravagers are a good call as well over here. I mean, hero is just... he's in a bad spot. Alright, starting his +2 attack right now. Has his +1 armor done. It's going to be 1-1. It's going to go into 2-1. Elazer has his +1 melee finishing soon. Already has his +1 range as well. Sentries now being added in. We have a Robo Bay. Is this just a single robotics facility? A good Archon count as well, by the way, but it's not going to be good enough. I don't think so. Not against a Roach count this large, right? Like, Archons are good, but they're really good once you start hitting 160, 170 supply. You know, and they can kind of have each other's back. There's an Immortal Force behind it. Maybe some Stalkers that can do some blinking. This just doesn't look so great here for hero. He's in a world of trouble. We'll get these links for free as Elazer backed himself into a corner. Some AI-like movement. Oh, some of them will manage to escape, but that's mainly because hero has bigger, better things to deal with right now. Throws down a force field to make sure that not all links can get in. Super Battery is actually providing a lot of value. Elazer forced to back off here. Very good control out of hero. Real nice. Elazer throws away a bunch of his Roaches. Perhaps to... no, actually to get more Roaches. So I'm not entirely sure why then he threw away these Roaches. I thought he'd do it to free up some supply for more Links and perhaps more Banelings. It does seem that that is usually the direction that the Polish Zerg wants to go into. 1600 gas in the bank again. These are really crazy numbers in my opinion. That's so much gas. Don't think it would hurt to pull out of gas just a little bit. Increase your mineral mining over here. Because there seems to be, you know, no issue of gathering that one resource. Centrifugal hooks. Close to finishing up. That's going to be an issue here for... oh my god. Stasis ward. Oh my god. 3 massive stasis wards. Elazer still going to commit here, but... I mean, he's lacking a lot of his army right now. Super Battery is going ham. Does get targeted down by those Banes. This is the worst possible fight he could have taken, I think. It's a huge, huge mistake. Oh my god, Purification Nova gets a connection with at least 14 Banes there. Well, maximum 14 Banes actually. He has 14 kills on this Disruptor. I think every single one there was a Bane hero. Yeah, ready to take the game and take the series with this move. Absolutely phenomenal defense out of hero, but what a weird attack out of Elazer. Hero is diving a bit deep, perhaps overly eager. I'd love to see some charge slots being sent across the map. I'd absolutely love for more Archons to be warped in. A lot of money is in the bank right now, which I think needs to be spent really before anything else can happen. DTs being warped. It's kind of how Showtime plays, by the way. Just DT Archons with Disruptor, Immortal, bunch of Stalkers. And I mean, it's still there. There's no pressure on hero here. There's no reason for hero to say, hey, I want to go across the map and kill you, actually. There's nothing. What hero should be doing is setting up zealot run-bys, perhaps getting a prism, and then waiting until he's maxed out with a massive Archon army and disruptors. I think this transition into Fleet Beacon makes a lot of sense against Serral. It makes a lot of sense against Raynor. I don't think it makes sense against Elazer, who is known for staying on lair and never getting rid of that Ravager-Ling Bane army, just continuously pushing in with those bad boys. 14 probes do get taken out here. This army is so high quality out of hero, though, that I don't think losing 14 probes is the end of the world. You're still working off of 8 gas geysers. You're gonna have a rich Vespene geyser soon. The Oracle, oh my god, how many Banes is this? 70 Banes. That is big. That is really big. Of course, hero is aware of that, as he managed to hit everything with a revelation. Oh my god! Oh, Purification Nova not quite gonna connect. Banelings rolling. What is this? What am I watching? Purification Nova is absolutely missing every single thing here. Force fields are going to connect with these Banes. 5th base is toast. Disruptors getting taken out. Oh! Force fields did not quite catch these bad boys, as a lot of probes trying to run away. That's a slow warp, and that means that all of these workers are gonna end up falling. Elazer with a phenomenal fight, just completely destroying hero's defenses here. He says, that's a nice army you have there. It would be a shame if I ignore it and kill all your probes. And hero wasn't quite ready for that. Kind of got caught in a weird position. Behind his 3rd base, not really defending his 4th, not really defending his 5th either. Now decides to go for a big attack. I think that's the Hail Mary play. And it might actually end up working anyway. As these Banelings, well, are there enough? There's a lot of them. Archons are falling lower and lower. 53 army supply against 60. Roaches from the back actually pushing out a lot of damage. Ling flank coming in as well. So these Archons are going lower and lower. Without any Archons, Lings might just be too strong with the +2 upgrades. Disruptors trying to get the connections. Will get a Queen. Next Disruptor gets a lot of Lings. Takes a bit away from his own Immortal as well, though, as that final Purification Nova doesn't do a whole lot. And at the end of the day, after stabilizing, I do believe that Elazer is in a much superior position, where he has 75 workers, hero is only on 46, 3k mineral income per minute against 1200. Hero is in trouble. And not just a little bit of trouble. 4DTs are trying to change this, are trying to turn this around, but I'm not too sure if that's going to be possible. Ling run by being sent in towards this base. Elazer still on lair attack. Don't forget that. While we're watching this game, is that all of this is done off of lair attack. Right clicks the hatchery rather than going for drones. So it's going to be a hatchery snipe into a recall. But if this base stays alive, it's not really going to be the end of the world. Yeah, there comes the recall. 10, 11 workers going down on the other side simultaneously, though. As we see 4 sentries being warped in. DT's actually recalled towards the base that was being attacked. 13 probes go down. This is a bad situation right now for hero still. He did not clear the drones. He just cleared a base, and that base can be rebuilt. But yeah, his own worker count is simply too low. I think that's the real issue here. As Elazer should probably be thinking about getting a bunch of Banelings in this comp. I think that would be a good call. Just sending in another Ling run by here towards this base for now. As he's keeping on the pressure. But there's really no point for Elazer to trade before he's maxed, before he has a massive Baneling count. He could, but I don't think he has to. Just the low amount of Banes right now is somewhat worrying. So there's a couple of Zealots, there's a couple of Stalkers. Both of those don't do necessarily very well against Banes. So we have 2 Banes on the way. Just gonna run by in towards this 3rd. There's no real static defense left either. So 2 Banes actually could be, well, I don't want to say game-ending damage, but could be probe killing. And you kill 8, 9 workers here, that would be nice. Should be capable of getting everything, yeah. There you go, 9 workers go down. Hero at 95 supply against 193. Now, I don't like to advise people to leave the game, but a suggestion could be made to hero at this point to perhaps, you know, go into the... What? He's building a single carrier at a time here. Single carrier. As he's chrono boosting his Dark Shrine, pretending to research Shadow Stride. I think a couple of Banelings would definitely add something. Yeah, there we go. 17 Banes being morphed. Ling Roach heading in towards the natural, I think. Could use some Banes in here, but I mean, 37 Banes, that is a lot of Banes. There's not a whole lot of hero here anymore. Super battery could be activated in the net. Not necessary for now. Perhaps one more shot, one more shot, one more shot. There we go. Not quite brilliant. At the same time, though, Banelings are connecting with absolutely everything. More Banelings coming in. And that is probably going to be it. Another 14 kill disruptor over here. But every probe is going down. Every unit is going down. Hero is completely dead as he leaves the game, hopefully within the next 10 seconds. Because he's, 1/5 of his opponent's supply. GG gets called. And Elazer ties up the series. Fairly odd game that last one was, as we hit Babylon as our third map. On the rivers of Babylon. There's also a river here. Multiple rivers. I think they are. Yeah, look at that. Boom, straight into the sea. With this shark, or whatever this is. Prehistoric, post-historic animal. A future. I guess StarCraft's in the future, so it can't really be a prehistoric animal, can it be? Beautiful. Can't wait to see it swim around. Some freaking bones over here as well. hero tried to go for a block as Elazer, I think, opened up with a 14 hatch in this particular game. Rather than the 15 hatch. Just making sure he can't get blocked. Now, something that is interesting, or at least that I find interesting, is that last game it felt like hero had a very good early game. But he still did not quite end up managing to do what he wanted to. If you have an early game this good, and then you get completely destroyed, which he really did get completely destroyed. Like, you start wondering whether your build is good, right? Because there's people that win games without having to kill 8-9 workers. And on top of that, don't forget that hero also managed to get a stasis ward on like 90% of his opponent's army in the first fight against the roaches. Then managed to get a stasis on like 60 to 70% of his opponent's army in the second big fight. And you're just starting to wonder if the build that hero is playing here is really that effective. And if it's really that efficient. You can't kill 7 workers in the first 4.5 minutes. And then get completely destroyed in your first push. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And it really does make me believe that a lot of the ways that hero wins games are not necessarily because his mid-game builds are so brilliant, but I think because his early game is so good. And often his early game, you know, killing 10-11 workers kind of allows him to get away with a sloppy mid-game, it feels like. I think once hero gets going with the multitask, once he gets going with the run buys, he's in a really good spot. But I'm not a fan of how he sets himself up for that mid-game. Basically, the follow-up seems to be often inefficient and, quite frankly, pretty bad majority of the time. Like a 9-gate Blink Stalker? I don't know. Perhaps I'm looking too much at the result of that last game, but I just can't imagine having such a good early game and really not getting anything out of it in the mid game while you're, you know, you're doubling down on your pressure, you're putting in a lot of resources there, and everything is going perfect. Your opponent opens up with freaking roaches, 66 worker. It felt like it just wasn't a good plan then. Right? I think that's fine to point out every now and again. Doesn't mean that hero is a bad player. God knows he's fantastic. Just, it makes me wonder. Second Oracle is on the way here. These two adepts make their way across the map right now. And we'll be looking to deal a little bit of damage. Just a little bit of damage though, not too much. Not going too crazy. Don't want anything wild to happen here. Would we now? We would not want that. They're gonna finish, aren't they? No, they're not. Second gate is about to finish up as gas 3 and 4 are immediately starting. Third Oracle is well on the way right now. This will finish. Yep, there we go. It's going to be 2-3 workers, or perhaps even a little bit more. Oracle's looking for an angle. Perhaps can get their big butts in towards the main base. A missed target fire still. 7? 7 workers. This is very doable. This is very solid. Second spore is finishing up. 7 workers once again in the first, 4.5 minutes. 2 more adepts are being sent out. Twilight Council and Forge about 40-45 seconds later than usual. But that's because of the heavy investment into a third oracle as well as more adepts. 2 more gates are being added in as well here. The adepts are coming from an alternative angle. 10 links are out. There is no speed yet. It will finish up for this particular one. Ooh, should have hidden those links a little bit better and perhaps could have baited out a shade out of hero. There's no fort base yet for Elazers. We do have an Evo chamber finishing up right now. Is it going to be for +1 range or melee? It's going to be melee. There is a robotics facility this time and we have charge rather than blink. Now we're talking, hero. Now we're freaking talking. There's no spore in this main base. Really feel like these oracles should have been capable of dealing some serious damage. It's gonna go fight the queens now after taking some big shots to their head. 1 oracle for 2 queens. It's not necessarily a bad trade for Zerg, is it? It's 300 resources each, but I think the oracle is a lot more valuable. We have a 4th one on the way as well over here. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Almost loses his 2nd oracle, but not quite. But not quite. Roach Warren on the way in the main base as a fort gets built on the very bottom part of the map here. Templar Archives. Now this is something I like. This is a build I really like. Well, really like. I'm genuinely a bigger fan of this build than the previous ones. Fast Templar Archives, Robo Beto. More gateways coming in. There's no pressure really coming out of hero. I think Elazer might mentally be preparing for it. I think he wants to check the gas. Oh, no, he saw the gases. He saw the timing on the gases. That's a lot of info he got. That is indeed a lot of info he got. It's these 2 oracles trying to get a little bit more damage. We'll get 1, 2 kills. Piss off. See a base being constructed over here. I was really expecting some type of charge attack, but that doesn't seem to be the case. This prism is moving towards the bottom left side. Warps in 6 Templar. 5 Templar. Oracles coming in to help out. No +1 on these units. Quick pickup on that 1 Templar. As this Archon gets picked up as well. What a terrible fight here for Elazer. Losing an absolute crap ton of links and not killing anything whatsoever. That might actually mean there's some potential for this push out. Another cannon gets added in. Elazer already on 80 workers. This hero is defending against well, an attack that isn't coming. What is this 2nd cannon doing here? I don't know. What's that 1st cannon doing there? I also don't know. Very rare to see that before the 4th base. Oracle's now trying to move into position, maybe wanting to deal a little bit of damage. Wonder if they can get it. I don't think they can, to be quite honest. I don't think they can at all. Second disruptor on the way out. Hero really changing pace. And taking out a lot of creep. Ah, he loses an oracle. That's the 2nd oracle he loses. It's going to make it harder to defend against potential baneling attacks. Having 3 oracles is so nice for that as well. Don't forget about that. This observer's in a good position. This is a large zealot move out. Almost too many zealots. 16 of them. Is there Storm? What are these guys doing? It's coming in to feed back the queens, maybe? I don't quite know what this is. There's 20 Banes on the way. I mean, Elazer is planning on all-inning in about 25 seconds from now. I'm not sure if the way to counter that is by trying to attack your opponent and killing them. Zealots are out on the map. This Ling run by is heading towards this 4th base. Will catch a disruptor. Perhaps can throw out a purification Nova's. Not quite going to get it. Link's got a kill. Zealot run by towards the bottom side. That's interesting. Oh, 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 oh. And that was 32 supply that he lost in 2 seconds. Very painful. Both players now going in for the attack. It does feel that hero is kind of overstepping here. I don't think he actually has the forces to do this. Banelings being sent in, +2 not quite done yet. Not waiting for that. As hero's going to be stuck in the corner for now. A bunch of workers will end up falling. That is 14 workers down the drain, 78 to 54. Hero in a world of trouble. Hero perhaps completely dead right now. As Banelings are running in towards the natural as well, Zealot Warpin is going to get blasted by them. 12 roaches will get constructed. It's a large roach force. There's no upgrades for those roaches. +1 starts now. Banelings starting to move forward here. Don't forget, they do have +2, meaning that they can now one-shot probes with their splash damage. Purification Nova being sent out. Hey, hero is just in so much trouble at the moment. He really is. Immediately picks up his 2 Archons and says, hey, you know what? I need to deal some damage. I can't just sit back and take it. That is bad. What I need is to send units across the map. Now, more Banelings are being morphed in from every single direction, wanting to get a run by here. Here comes the Archon Prism. Things will obviously get taken out. Can we get a warp in of Zealots here? Perhaps 2 Zealots. Not going to be enough. Banelings, not quite. Oh my god. Straight up walking into that Archon. Zealot run by towards the top side at the same time as well. Purification Nova's trying to hit. Could go for some big hits here. Could go for some big hits maybe on those Banes. Not getting it quite yet. This Archon Zealot attack is dealing some serious damage. This Zealot attack is dealing some serious damage. As hero magically finds a way back into the game. Starts his +2 armor as well. There's another Baneling run by now coming in towards the 3rd. Let's take a look. First person out of hero. What are you doing against this? Well, he's doing barely, not enough maybe. It's gonna take everything out. Only losing 7 workers. That is okay. Did lose his Archons though. Did lose some important units there. 73 workers to 78. 2 oracles still remaining alive with a lot of energy. Baneling count is non-existent at the moment. There's 28 roaches, which do not really have an upgrade quite yet. Missile attack level 1 is about to finish up. More Banelings being sent in towards this 4th base. As the Prism tries to enter back into the rotation. Maybe get a couple of Zealot Warpins in. Get a couple of kills here. Oh, hero. We need to deal with this. Let's take a look at the first person here. Is he paying attention? He is not, and that means minus 19 workers. And this is why against Zerg you always need to look at the minimap. You don't pay attention for 2-3 seconds. You'll lose your entire mineral line because of those +2 Banelings. Purification Novas are trying to get the connections here with those drones, with those roaches. Instead get a connection with 2 of his own Zealots. That's not quite what I'd like to call brilliant. 55 workers to 81 as Elazer is coming in here with a lot of Banelings. Stasis Ward providing some value. Another Purification Nova only hitting his own unit. This is absolutely not what you want. And, well, Elazer pretty much crushing this army over here, saying, well, we had some fun back in the day, but it's time for you to leave, my dear friend. Queens are around to deal with the oracles. Plenty of links, plenty of roaches, and plenty of workers as well. As Elazer continues just shooting off units on that layer tech, just never going into the freaking hive. Says, hey, hive is for losers. I ain't a loser. I'm gonna be playing, well, pure lair. Ling Bane Ravager. Ling Bane Roach eats another stasis, the umpteenth stasis that he's been being hit by. The bottom side base has been taken out, but there's still so many workers, so many little worker bees on that 5th base up top. Hero is trying to get back up to 67 workers right now. As he sends out a double Archon drop in towards the main base of his opponent. Oracle's looking for some vision, looking for something really. Just anything should be good. Zealot's looking for a kill as well. Is there Storm right now? No, we don't have Storm. We do have 2 Lone Templar. Not quite sure what they're up to. 21 Banes are being constructed as this Archon drop is actually dealing quite a bit of damage, forcing a bunch of these roaches back as well. There's just no vision on this left side. And that could be quite scary. Oh, Banelings moving in. Probably just going to go for the kill on the Nexus here, I'd reckon. Then want to keep the rest alive. You can go back home. A base for a base, but if you're up a base, that's usually a fine trade. Another 12 workers also going down. Elazer always keeping his workers alive. He's so good at ferrying these in between the bases. While Hero, well, he has been struggling. 60 workers killed in this 14-minute game. That's not what we like to call ideal. Oh, surround on the Archons. Banelings move commanding past the way they shoot. Trying to aim for them Zealots. We'll get some kills here. Disruptors perhaps in trouble as well. Another Stasis Ward will connect with some units, but I mean the 4th base, or well the 3rd base is gone. The 4th, well, whatever that was. That base is gone. The natural is going to be invaded here as well. Roaches will get hit on the head by the Purification Nova. But there's no Zealot run-bys on the map, and that's a real issue. Baneling count, once again, practically non-existent. Super Battery has been activated. 160 supply to 118. The links in the main base are taking out a lot of workers. And once again, forcing hero into pretty much an all-in. Lots of... Look at it, 2700 gas for Elazer. What is this? He could build a lot of Ravagers with that. That's for sure. That's nice. Got a lot of Banes. So much cash. Needs to spend it into something. Prism with the 2 Archons. Once again, moving out. Gravitic Drive even on the way for this Prism. So hero realizes that his only chance of getting back into this game is by basically killing his opponent's eco accidentally. A couple of drones will get taken out. All the Archons stay alive as a bunch of links end up falling. Here comes a Zealot run by all at the same time into this army. There's only one Baneling there, but it's still going to be enough for Elazer. As he's now going to get flanked by these Archons as well. Purification Nova is available. Biles don't really connect. Neither will this Purification Nova. Gets a single Ravager, but that's about it. Prism still flying around looking for damage. Not quite getting it though. Elazer still practically maxed, especially with the cash he has left in the bank. 6 Larvae are here as well. 8 more Roaches in production. 74 workers is all this man needs because he's playing against someone with just 44. Zero once again staying in for a very, very long time. Perhaps believing that he has one more shot with a counterattack push. But I'm not so sure if that's going to be true. Oracle's looking for kills. Oracle's looking for damage. Can they find it? I don't know. Here comes the Gravitic Drive Prism. Purification Nova connects with one of those queens. Big flank, big flank. Yes, these Disruptors are just not getting the hits they need. They need a 10, 12 Roaches at once, multiple times. Elazer's just moving in. He's going to end up winning this game. And win the series against hero. One of the world's greatest PvZ players. As Elazer shows that the European ZVP is a different beast. Different beast indeed. The never-ending layer attack here. Reminiscent of the old Hydraling Bane times that Elazer loved so much in 2017, 2016. These times are past us, are behind us. But he's bringing it back with pure Reverie. I'm not sure why hero's still in, by the way. Hey, it's fine, my friend. It's okay, Mr. Protoss. We'll win in another lifetime. In our dreams, we win. Elazer with the win. As hero taps out with a GG. An impressive result. Yes, yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you did enjoy this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.